empowering young people is no longer optional. It is essential. Members, thank you for the opportunity to contribute to today's important hearing. I represent Europinion, a youth-led independent media platform and social enterprise committed to strengthening civic resilience and enhancing public dialogue in an increasingly polarised information environment. Europinion is not youth-led in name only. We are a platform built for young people by young people. Our strategy and policy recommendations today to enable young people to identify, resist and combat disinformation are grounded in three core sources. Fieldwork, conducted through Europinion's participatory workshops at the 2024 European Youth Events in Berlin and Forli. Our 2025 Europe-wide research report entitled Navigating the Information Disorder, European Youth in the Age of Digital Disinformation, and formulation in the spirit of existing EU instruments, including the Digital Education Action Plan, the EU Youth Strategy, and the European Democracy Action Plan. What unites all three is a clear principle. Resilience to disinformation must be designed with youth, not merely for them. It must build not just knowledge, but agency and self-awareness. This is not about delivering truth parochially from above. It is about cultivating the critical skills required to navigate complex digital environments. In our 2024 workshops, participants engaged in peer discussions about how they assess information, whom they trust, and how they engage with contested claims. A striking result: nearly half trusted social media influencers more than professional journalists. And so to explore youth media literacy further, we commissioned our Europe-wide research study revealing that 59% of young Europeans aged 15 to 24 relied on social media as their primary news source. 68% had shared content that they later suspected to be false or misleading. Just 38% recognised any EU-backed fact-checking initiatives, and most notably, the majority overestimated their ability to identify disinformation. Whilst young people now spend over 7 hours a day online, over 30% of 15 to 24-year-olds across member states lack even basic media literacy. That is why we propose effective approaches that start not with scepticism, but with self-awareness, not with correction, but with curiosity. We do not frame critical thinking as suspicion, but as discernment, a social and civic skill to be practiced, shared, and valued. And for our recommendations, we propose 4 interconnected components, each grounded in research, field experience, and kinesthetic pedagogical theory. Firstly, inoculation-based module workshops. Participants are exposed to real-world disinformation formats, be that memes, deepfakes, or emotionally charged headlines, and supported to understand how they manipulate attention and bypass rational judgment. Rooted in inoculation theory, this method builds long-term cognitive resistance through structured exposure and kinesthetic learning. Secondly, peer-led reflection seminars. Young people collaboratively explore content they've seen online and reflect together on how it made them feel, why they may have believed or shared it, and how they might reassess it. These controlled sessions promote empathy and openness and develop trust literacy, the ability to assess the reliability of sources within one's own social network. This reinforces the idea that vulnerability to disinformation is not shameful, but shared. Thirdly, simulations of narrative framing and editorial processes. Participants reframe the same news story in different tones and formats, learning how narrative framing shapes meaning. They explore how headlines influence perception, how editorial choices reflect bias, and how persuasive narratives can still be factually accurate whilst manipulative. Our research and field engagement reveal that young people are particularly vulnerable to persuasive misinformation, framed to trigger their emotions. This simulation helps them identify rhetorical manipulation and cultivates cognitive flexibility, crucial for empowering the next generation of informed, proactive citizens. And ultimately, we recommend the creation of a digital civic simulation game focusing on disinformation in the context of elections and democratic resilience. In this role-playing game, young people assume the roles of journalists, candidates, or voters during a disinformation-heavy election cycle. They manage crisis scenarios, debunk viral claims, and navigate pressures between objectivity and virality. Through this experiential approach, abstract concepts like democratic erosion become personally relevant and memorably explored. This model builds on democratic imagination, the capacity to envision and experience disinformation as a systematic challenge with real consequences. Rather than being told what is true and what is not, participants learn skills of identifying integrity and credibility within democratic discourses. We are responding from lived proximity with field-informed insights and a shared civic commitment to address this challenge of increasing media literacy and resisting disinformation. I would like to just kind of conclude that these policies should be designed with youth, not merely for them. I think this idea of things being parochially imposed downwards is a real negative. And I think because Europe's democratic future will not be safeguarded by informational control, it will be safeguarded by critical engagement, civic trust, and the curiosity of the next generation. Thank you.